Wow, dear one, that last recording somehow tells me what 11 stands for. It took 11 minutes exactly to complete. And it's never complete. It's a double one. One in the units column, one in the tens column. The units column, us, the units. The tens column, our view of our Heavenly Dad. One in the hundreds column. Oh goodness. Our own views put together. That makes 100. The military unit, 100. 100 men at arms. The requirement of the king and 100 times 100. A legion. So there's a centurion, and then there's a legion. A legion should have 10,000. Well, we live in a real world of bounty and shortages, and so often the legion was down to 6, even down to typically 4,000. But enough economically to sustain civilization in a province, and left you men for finding more provinces, the cutting edge on the frontier, where you of course requisitioned the locals into your army. And so the Roman Empire expanded to seize as much of Europe as the cold would allow, which, given Rome as a civilization, was not deep into the tundra or something. Its boundary was Northern Europe, where it met with, of course, the harshness of the steppe people that had invaded and taken the colder climates. And these Germanic people eventually, of course, sweep down, take Rome itself. But Rome had moved on to Constantinople. You can think of the Roman Empire as falling, but you're only talking about the West. The Eastern Roman Empire didn't fall. But it ossified, whereas the West transformed itself spiritually and became the Holy Roman Empire, which was Germanic. What's that about? How do you mean holy and Roman? You're talking about Norse, Viking, steppe people, the hordes of Central Asia that just keep spilling over into the civilized world. And you're calling it the Holy Roman Empire. No wonder it looks so grim when you look at the details. It's a frightening leviathan. Of power. An empire of squabbling children that desperately coping with. Plenty and poverty and cycles of seasons that are so dramatic compared to the Mediterranean, maritime, Roman Empire proper. And the Aryan squabbles with himself. He was never united. They were always separate. Nomadic peoples. Their links are lost because of their mobility. How true this is of the 20th century, where your technology gives you a mobility that destroys your culture, your nationhood, the fabric of your society. And you become isolated wanderers in a man-made urban world of high-tech spiritual desolation, by which I mean no nature. Nature has been conquered. You've lost your mother. Are you mad? No, I just were children and made mistakes. Went down the wrong road. You hate where you've come from and hate where you're going. And on this battlefield of death, life as you call it, but death really, you cry out for Mum. My soul longs for you. My soul longs for you. I've found that nothing else will do. You want home. You don't know where it is. God has to come to you, and he does, in the form of the story. The mystery cults, it's the salvation for cities, be it Rome or London or New York or Beijing, or Delhi. The urban wastelands of a very uncivilized world. It's not that they have their culture, they are the degeneration from their culture. Whether you're looking at England or America or China or India or African states, they are the remnants of what was their culture. And this soup of good and evil, astonishingly, is the rubbish dump on which springs life. It's the fertilizer of life. You know, we had the symbology of the lily roots in the filthy mud at the bottom of the clear water. Springs up through the purity of the water, floats on the surface in the loveliness of the air and the brilliance of the light-giving sunlight, and gives you a fantastic flower floating on the water. Ah, God's given it to me, the 1,000-petaled lotus. The Indian form, of course, is an extravagant form of the lily. Out of the mud springs this fantastic petaled flower. You can see it as each petal, the complexity of the brain. You can see it as something spiritual. The beauty and loveliness of our Heavenly Dad. Symbolic of it, you see. His children go to school. They learn all sorts of lessons and grow in beauty and fullness of life, radiance, by His grace and loving kindness. We're actually homeschooled. We just don't know it. And when we do, oh my goodness, we rip through the teens, the adolescence at a fantastic rate. Thank you, Heavenly